Alright guys, TouchCoB back again today. Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday so far. Today there's a number of things to talk about because over the last few days a lot has happened and that means a lot of small things have kind of gone under the radar. But yesterday another big announcement from the CDL regarding CHAMPS, finally confirming the format that they're going to be changing to given the whole situation that has happened. Hopefully CHAMPS will still be played on LAN in some fashion, whether without a crowd or whatever. Hopefully that is a possibility even if they have to delay it, but no news about that as yet. But want to talk about the pricing and some other really cool things they are adding to Call of Duty for the rest of the season. So like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, Draft Royale for this weekend. Link down in the pinned comment and the description box below. This is a typical fantasy type thing. Choose 5 players. If they do the best on the weekend, you win a hell of a lot of XP and an awful lot of pride as well. There's 1,000 places in the draft buff thing, so you guys shouldn't have any issues joining. This is the team I put together. I think it's kind of good, but I've said that every week and I haven't really done particularly well, but maybe this week is my time. So let's hop on with the rest of the things I wanted to talk about today. I'm sure you guys can do a better job than this though. So Intel Call of Duty said a couple of days ago now, related to dedicated servers and custom games, this was spotted, dedicated server matches in normal custom games, which we hadn't seen so far. However, just after this it seemed like they removed it again, so not exactly sure what's going on here. Maybe it's something in the works. I think there were some issues. This clip from Craig here saying how he was hearing people that weren't even in his lobby talking, so maybe they've removed it for a while just to you know, step the game up a little bit in terms of what Infinity Ward are bringing to the party. But pretty cool stuff to see regardless, for especially the amateur scene. We have this from Quavo Kenny as well, and this is what we're talking about if you're an OpTic gaming fan. So Kenny officially changing his Activision ID back to Kenny. That's what it'll go by now, I imagine, in the CDL as well. Earlier this season he changed to Quavo. Nobody liked it, to be honest. He's been Kenny when he's been a good player. Quavo earlier this season wanted to do so well, right? So, you know, with Kenny back in action, I think he's going to be dropping 1.2s again. And also, a couple of days ago now, from Chicago Huntsman's stream, they were playing London Royal Ravens. I think they went 4-4 in scrims or something with Bristini on the squad. They were playing against the London Royal Ravens, as I said, and Joe seems to be playing in the team in a similar situation to how Bristini was supposedly playing on this general account. Looks like probably someone is playing on Joe's account, and I believe even the London guys were calling out Joe as Trey. So Trey 0. We'll talk about that when it does get confirmed, if Zero's onto this squad, but it just does seem a super strange roster construction to me to have Zero and Shawnee and Scraps and Waskin on the team. Dylan is going to be out on his own trying to fry, but he was frying in this one, so maybe you could say that it could work, but I just don't see it being incredibly likely. It just seems like an interesting change to me. So let's talk about the main thing that the CDL confirmed yesterday, that being the CHAMPS prize pool announcement. So 4.2 million Crone says here, it's actually 4.6 million, so a little bit more. This is the biggest amount of prize money we have ever had. I guess it's expected given the fact that teams had to pay 30 million on to even come into the league, so I imagine they step up the prize pool somewhat, but it is very interesting how they've decided to divvy this up. So this is the prize pool situation. The first place team, the champion of the 2020 season, wins $2 million. This is the high, like the first place prize is the highest prize pool I think we've ever had for an entire champs. In Black Ops 2 it was 2 million. What was it in Black Ops 4? Was it 1.5 million or something like that? I forget. But in Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, sorry, COD XP, it was 2 million, I think, overall prize pool. Now we have 4.6 million for the entirety of it. 2 million for first, 1 million for second. So this is 400 grand each per player. Obviously, you know, it might get split. It's probably going to get a split to some great degree between the team and the players and then the coaching staff and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, third place, 500 grand. Fourth place, 300 grand. Like, it gets pretty crazy. The interesting part is that 11th through 12th, the two teams in last place get $0 for placing last in the CDL. And at first glance, you might say, look, this is a great thing. And I think, to be honest, I kind of like the idea in theory, because one of the issues here with coming into a franchise league, I felt, was that maybe there's not the incentive to be the best team you can be when you can't get relegated, right? If you're in a franchise league, your team can never get relegated down to a subdivision or anything like that, like you had in a traditional CDL. You could get relegated from the Pro League, which was kind of cool to see, right? Especially from a European background of how we do sports over here typically. but giving 11th through 12th really low prize money gives some good incentive, right, to improve. However, when you look at how this league is standing up in terms of what the, well, we did talk about this a while ago when TJ and Clayster leaked what the format was going to look like. They've since confirmed that this is what it's going to be. So if you're a 1st through 2nd seed, you will go all the way to the 3rd round match. And if you're 9th seed through 12th seed, you'll be right down here. And what this means is, for example, right now, Subliners, Gorillas, Ultra, and Surge, thanks to Summit CDL for putting this together, are the teams that sit in losers round 1. Right now. So LAG 12th, New York Subliners currently 9th. So let's say it went like this for the rest of the season. Subliners continue to be a good team, but they never quite get above 9th. Or let's say it's a squad like Paris Legion or something gets into 9th place. And they've been a competitive team all season long. They've been mixing things up, but they're a 9th place squad. It's not tragic, but it's not great by any means, right? They're sitting in 9th. They play their first round matchup against LAG in the losers round 1, and LAG win a game 5 round 11 fashion, something like that, despite Paris or whichever team, let's say it is the Subliners, and that continues for the rest of the season, and they are still in 9th place. If that is the case, then they will play Gorillas first round. If they go game 5 round 11 or something like that and lose to LAG, then Subliners are out of the tournament. They're out of champs immediately with $0 prize pool. I understand it if they got to play some sort of double elimination, but it seems kind of mean potentially on a team that's 9th who actually could have been pretty competitive and has quite a lot of CDL points to lose one single match and then like have nothing from champs. But of course I do see the necessity to ensure that these league matches that we have on every single weekend actually matter, right? So there's some sort of a balance. I did talk about this at the time when I talked about the leak from TJ and Clayster then initially regarding like how much benefit do you give to the best teams in the league? How much do you punish the worst teams, right? Because Atlanta FaZe and Dallas Empire, if they stay as the top 2 teams, they have to win 3 series, right? So they have to beat, well, a pretty hot team from this match 5 here. Let's say Florida win, then Rocker win that. FaZe would have to play a pretty hot Rocker, you know, or potentially a pretty hot Florida or London coming off 2 back-to-back victories when they haven't really got a chance to warm up. Similar situation with the Dallas Empire, right? You could say, in theory, if this was how it ended up turning out. But at the end of the day, they have to just win 3 series to win the World Championship. 9 maps away already from winning the World Championship when they get to the event. And even if they lose every single matchup they play, they will finish at worst top 6, which as we can see right here is, or I guess 5th, 2 teams at 5th, so 5th through 6th, they will win at minimum $200,000. So of course a massive advantage here for the teams that do come 1st, 2nd in the league. It makes sense to give them some advantage, but maybe the fact that they have to win 3 series to win, and team, if you're in 9th place, you have to win 8 series in a row without losing any to win. Maybe that's too much of a disparity, some people could argue, and I think there's a case to be made either way. So as Clayster says, you know, 3 series for 2 million sounds dope. Would be super nice to have 1st or 2nd seed, but you're going to be facing some stone cold, potentially playing a team who's won 2 matches by the time they get to you. Definite negative to starting the tournament so late. So yeah, it's interesting, right? Given you're the best team in the game, it'd be nice from a fan perspective, I could argue, or you could argue, to have them playing more often, right? But, you know, we'll have to see how that goes. Just wanted to mention as well, we discussed this rumor about domination. Do the pros want to axe it? They talked about to the players in this article I'll leave linked down below, which expresses all of these things that they're introducing to the CDL. They talk in that they offered up Hardpoint and Search and Destroy as potential options for a Game 3, neither of which I like, so I'm pretty happy it stayed with Domination, to be honest. It was somewhat entertaining at the last event as well. If there are other options like Control maybe at the start of the game, that would have been something to consider. Also, this weekend, I wanted to say that the hype battles are of course gone from the online CDL, but instead they're doing this. This is really, really cool in my opinion. 12 teams, 1 private Warzone lobby. See what happens when our pro players drop in all at once. So this is great to see. 12 teams, 1 private lobby. All the players from the CDL are going to be dropping into a Warzone lobby as like a hype battle type situation mid-match, I suppose, or between series, just to keep things entertaining. Sunday, May 24th. So yeah, really cool to see, to be honest. Definitely a massive step up from what the hype battles were earlier on in the season, which everyone tuned out to. I'll definitely be tuning into this, haven't watched too much Warzone, so this will be an exciting one for sure to see all the pro players involved. And this as well is one of the big things. Obviously, I'm saving it to the late part of the video here, but I really like this this change, which finally is potentially in play. So, earn new team emblems, sprays, and animated calling cards by watching live Call of Duty League matches on the CDL website or COD companion app. So, not live on YouTube. I'm not exactly sure what the CDL website looks like if you watch it directly on their page. Maybe it's some embedded YouTube stream, or maybe it's like an MLG.TV type when they have their own media player. Hopefully YouTube get their acting gear at some point, because there's so much potential for YouTube and the CDL there and that partnership to really take over the scene, because YouTube has so many eyes on it. But the fact that when I search for the CDL, sometimes I'll actually get tomorrow's reminder kind of stream that isn't actually going to go live for another 24 hours above the actual live stream. Surely it should be featured to some degree, or they should work something out. And also these drops that they're trying to implement, clearly they can't do that on YouTube quite yet. So you've got to watch on the CDL website or Call Companion app. However, it's still a really cool thing, right? Because you're adding things that right now, okay, there's only calling cards, team element strays, but at some point there might be camos, there might be all these other things you could potentially add in as drops. And it's a really great idea, right? Because let's say someone happened to tune into the stream, they get some sort of drop, they show that off to their mates when they're playing the game, and their mates are like, damn, I've got to get one of these drops as well to one up my friends. This kind of stuff, more people tune in. We see, if you guys watch Counter-Strike at all, that when the major is on and they do the drops, of course, those things have actual monetary value, so there's more incentive. But the viewership used to go up absolutely hugely when it was a major, because people could just tune in and get drops and get, you know, value in that way, as well as watching the games. And it brought a lot of new eyes to the scene, especially more casual players who might be like, damn, that could be pretty cool to get if it's something for free just for watching the stream, and maybe they get hooked, right? So I really like this stuff. I'm surprised it hasn't got here until now, quite frankly, but better late than never for sure. So, two more things just to mention. Thought this was interesting from Enable. He says, people never sniff the finals thinking they're nice. Doesn't exactly know who he's referring to there. People are replying thinking he's talking about Mack or whatever. But, of course, we'll have to see this weekend's Seattle Surge to their own home series, Enable back in the game. Who's he talking about here? I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And just to finish with then, for a video packed full of different topics, Call of Duty 2020. The rumor has it, coming out from Charlie Intel, a very reliable source yesterday, saying it's called Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Really interesting name. Of course, we've heard about Cold War, Vietnam, this kind of era being when this Call of Duty could be set. Sounds kind of good to me, because sounds Black Ops 1-esque, to be honest. That's Charlie Intel here. Says, or rumors circulating last year suggested this year's game is set in the Cold War and connected to the Black Ops worlds, so this name would make the most sense. Interesting name, of course. Put Black Ops in there just to sell the copies, but yeah, if it's something like a Black Ops 1 type game, I think we're in for a good year. To be honest, I think we're in a good year regardless, because it's Treyarch, especially in comparison to this COD we have right now, in my opinion. But I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So yeah, lots of stuff to discuss today. Tomorrow I'll do whatever, and then Friday, of course, the Seattle Surge weekend begins. Like, if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new. As always, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.